Hey, everybody. So let's talk about lanterns. That's right. We got the second teaser trailer today. It's one longer, it's more in depth than the first one. But we can't forget the first one because there's a lot of stuff in the first one we didn't get in the second one. A couple characters that don't show up at all, stuff like that. This one feels more like we're appeasing the comic book people because we're showing constructs, we're showing Hal using the ring. We show Guy Gardner at one point. So I feel like where the first one was trying to do the True Detective vibe and bring in that audience, this one's more geared towards the comic book fans or the fans of the Green Lantern. So totally get that. We get to see him. We get to see Hal in his uniform, and that's my first negative. The color doesn't bother me. The fit of the suit just doesn't look right. And I get that maybe it's a Green Lantern Earth 1 type of thing is what people are talking about. But I'm not a fan of the suit. That's it. Now, I'm not saying that's going to keep me from watching the show. I'm not complaining too much, but it doesn't attract me. It's not, it's not cool looking to me. So, with that aside, we do get some action beats. Like I said, we get to see him using the constructs and stuff. But if we take this one and the first teaser and add to the information we got recently from Chris Mundy, the showrunner, that the series is going to take place, it's not supposed to be a one and done. It's supposed to be an ongoing series. And that we're going to be following two timelines, 2016 and now. Well, with that in mind, as I'm watching this, something keeps coming into my head, popping up in my head. And it has to do with the fact that when you watch this trailer, we see John Stewart in like a black jacket, and then we see him in what looks to be like maybe prison gear, prison overalls and stuff. We get different looks. We see him in the military. With Hal, other than the TV flashbacks we see, he is in the same outfit and looks the exact same age at all points. So I'm starting to wonder, do we only see Hal in 2016? Is that how they're going to split this? Where Hal and his trainee John go to this small town in Nebraska to figure out what happened with this shooting, and somehow they disappear. And I do say they, or get abducted, or something happens to Hal and John gets incarcerated, whether by locals or by the Green Lantern Corps, the Guardians, because that outfit he's wearing is similar to the outfit that Sinestro is wearing when we see him in one of the science cells when Hal visits him. And that would explain why, if Hal has disappeared and John is abducted, taken, incarcerated, then that would make sense why suddenly there's Guy Gardner. Why Guy Gardner gets a ring, because there's not a Green Lantern at that point. So again, that's total speculation, but it's just, I'm trying to get a feel for what the show's trying to tell us. And that if it is ongoing, maybe that's what happens, is that we're going to, in the 2016 stuff, we see what's going on with Hal and John, but the 2026 stuff, it's John finally gets out. He gets sent back to Earth. Maybe one of the Guardians sends him back. I don't know. I'm speculating again. I'm a writer. I do that. But, and then Guy comes to visit him, those kind of things. That would kind of make sense to me. Otherwise, I don't really see any place in either of the trailers that if we're going to do a split time thing or two different time periods where it looks like Hal is in a different time period than the others. He looks consistent through all of it. Where John looks like he could be, in different times. So, again, total speculation. We do get the back of Sinestro. We don't get a good look at him, but we get the back of Sinestro. We get Hal in the uniform. We get young versions of Hal or younger version of Hal doing interviews and stuff, we see young Jon Stewart with his dad. We see him watching Hal Jordan on TV. And we see a lot of other stuff that really looks like Jon really looked up to Hal. So this has got to be interesting to, when they say about never meeting your heroes. So yeah, I'm more curious now about what this story is going to be. If somehow the ancient evil they've talked about that's involved does abduct Hal or kill Hal, I'm hoping they don't kill him. But then you also look at the fact that Aaron Pierre has a contract that also allows him to do movies. Kyle Chandler doesn't. So maybe that's something to read in there too. Like Aaron Pierre is supposed to be a Man of Tomorrow. Kyle Chandler isn't. Also, we see that Laura Linney is in the cast. That should be interesting, but we don't know what she's going to play. A lot of people are speculating she's playing Carol Ferris. Whether or not, if that is true, whether she'll also be a Star of Sapphire or not, that's a big question. So we have a lot more questions than answers now, but at least we get to see more green. We get to see things, the constructs in use. We see Guy Gardner. He's still got that bowl cut. I know that's when the character started, but he does move away from that in the comics. I'd like him to move away from it in the TV show or in the movies. Just saying. So, all right, that's my initial reaction. Like I said, overall, I like it. I am really looking forward to this series. It's got my brain going. That's the sign that a trailer is interesting to me, or when I'm really trying to figure things out. I'm trying to piece the puzzle together. I see trailers and go, oh, okay, that's what it is. This one, no, I'm ready for the mystery. Like I said, the only negative for me is I really don't like the look of that suit. And it's not necessarily the color. It's just how bulky and oversized it looks on him. Like he's wearing his dad's suit jacket or something. But so that's it. Tell me what you think. Did you watch the trailer? Tell me in the comments, what were your thoughts? Do you think Hal's going to make it out of this alive? Do you think he's even going to make it a 2016 alive? Tell me what you think on that, what you think of the costume, of Laura Linney, everything. Just give me what your thoughts are on that. I'll see you guys soon.